Hey everyone, this is Chris Morelia, and today we're going to be focusing on student production with Adobe Spark. So we have to first of all define what production is. So for me, production is an assessment. It's an assessment of student learning. Usually comes at the end of the week, it comes at the end of a unit, but because we're doing remote learning, production is happening at the end of the week. So how did I start using assessment with production? It goes back to the whole concept of the backwards design. But as we moved into remote learning, it was quite obvious that one, I couldn't assess students over, let's say, with quizzes and things like that, and I've moved away from quizzes for quite a long time. So um, I wanted to focus more on having the students produce something that was tangible, something that they were actively engaged in. And so I was able to recently take courses with Adobe through the Adobe Learning Exchange and able to attain various levels of achievement. And each one of those focuses, the focus of the course was the concept of creativity. So the question always became is, how are you creative as a teacher? And that will translate to your own student creativity. So that became my focus, especially, as I said, with remote learning. I wanted to capture my students' knowledge. Now, some of the things that I use to do that is typically I will start off the week with a pear deck. And the pear deck will pretty much guide the students through internalizing the information they might use to. So here we are at the pear deck, and basically what my students were focusing on in this case, they were working on the idea of the Constitution. That became using the backwards design concept, they had to produce their knowledge of the Constitution. So let's take a look at the assignment. So this was the pear deck. As they go through the week, they're learning about the various concepts, let's say in this case, the Federalist Papers, separation of powers. All of these are going to be things that they are going to utilize in their actual production, which becomes their assessment. So here we get to the point where we're assessing. And what we do is I give them options. I'm a firm advocate of choice boards. So as the students are doing this over, let's say, a couple weeks' time, they become experts in a certain topic, and then we get to the actual project. So here with the project, what the students were able to do is say, okay, I'm an expert on the Constitutional Convention, three branches of government, separation of powers, checks and balances, federalism. And in this particular case, we're going to focus on Adobe Spark. So they had to create a presentation on a particular topic, and they had to utilize information, the historical skills that were utilized in the classroom as well. So explaining why certain things are important. I also focused on citing their sources as well. So, and they had to go through the planning process. They also had to use keywords. So let's take a look at what this looked like for the Adobe Spark video. So with Adobe Spark video, as you can see here, I gave them pretty clear instructions. I said they could use hand-drawn images or they could use their own images. And of course, I focused on Pixabay. And so from that, the students, not only they're producing their knowledge, but what's more important here is this whole project is based upon the concept of they are teaching a idea. And in this case, the way the lesson was structured, they're teaching an idea as if somebody is going to be taking the US Constitution test for citizenship. So here is one of the videos. And if let's take a look at this video here. There's many exceptional videos here. What I found is that once the students felt that they had ownership and they became experts, their own knowledge experts. Let's take a look at what happens there. So what I wanted students to do obviously here is teach, and they are using these are basically bullet points. And once again, they are experts on the process. I had some videos that were 2 minutes long, some that were shorter, but what I found is that students became experts. And there was various ways in which they did the videos. We'll take a look at one of the other videos in just a minute. So let's take a look at this video here, and how this was produced. And once again, so now we've got a total package of both music, and we have the person, they didn't use their own narrative, but you can see what they've done is they divided up the screen. Very powerful, using vocabulary words that are key. I love the way they put this together with teaching, almost leading to people at defining the different levels or different parts of the Constitution. So one of the key takeaways here is that student production basically becomes student engagement. As you can see, the two examples that I provided, you can hear the sound, but they were mixed. We had music. There was, in some cases, narration, but these students were totally engaged, fully engaged in this process. And that goes back to my whole concept of when students are producing something, it's something that's easily assessed. And this concept is going to continue. We've done things with fake news, in which students were able to create fake news on a simple Adobe Spark video that was 15 seconds long, just with images. And also taking a look at teaching other lessons, maybe in Westward Expansion. They're going to be doing an in-flight video of going to a historic place. But once again, all of these are very accessible and usually very engaging for the students. So that's all for now. Thank you once again for watching.